Mr. Brown.
Work-life balance is something that you better understand if you're looking to get into the entrepreneurship space, if you're looking to do anything that requires you to balance your time by yourself. So this is not an employer giving you set times that you need to be places or giving you restrictions on things that you cannot do at a certain time. So when it comes to work-life balance, you better understand how to manage your time correctly, because if you don't manage your time correctly, you will always succumb to overspending too much time in one area or giving another area too much time when you shouldn't have. Make it known to everyone that's in your life, in your home life, that for a few years and for a little bit, as you aspire to get to your entrepreneurship goals and do what you have to do, you are not going to be able to be at family events. You're not going to be able to do the family things. You're not going to be able to participate in certain vacations, simply because the amount of momentum you need to get a good start in the entrepreneurship space is a magnitude that you can't afford to take days off. You really can't. Because not only, think about this, not only are you trying to go at it alone, you're going up against teams that have people behind them. You're going up against people with capital that have money behind them. You're going up against a system that is made so that you don't succeed. You're going up against economical times. You don't know how much you're going up against for you to then think that you have the luxury of taking a small amount of time off. Like, you have 52 weeks in a year. Let's say you take 10% of that off. So maybe 5 weeks off, 5 weekends off. Think about that, bro. 5 weekends off is a lot of time where if someone is working those 5 weekends, bro, they're going to surpass you, especially if they have a team and capital and location, a desired location where they can maximize their time and maximize their efforts. Like, if you don't live in a big city and you live in a small town, the amount of momentum you're going to need is much more than if someone lived in a city, right? I found 10 times more success in Boston than I did in the small town I came from. It's just true. So you have to think about these things when it comes to your work-life balance, simply because, do you want to get to your destination in the same fiscal year that you're in? Or do you want to wait 3-4 years out where you have to build a reputation and all these things in a smaller town? Where even if when you're in a smaller town, right, you make one mistake, your reputation's done. And we're certainly going to make a video on reputation, but think about your work-life balance, where you must give it all you've got in the front end to then maybe get to a space where you can have a little downtime with the family, have a little bit of vacation, right? And I think the mistake that we all do is that once we get, and we've spoken about this before, once we get the momentum, you start to slow down because you feel like you've made it. You feel like you've worked hard enough to get the leisure time. And realistically, on the broad scheme of things, you haven't even scratched the surface on the potentials that you have. Bro, I'm not even trying to preach to you only. It's almost like I'm speaking to myself, because I've done it I've done it before as well. Shit, I do it today, right? My current addiction is golf, right? And that's a leisure sport. But have you done the work this year to get to play golf every day? Maybe not. Maybe you could be taking that time to work a little harder, right? So you always want to recalibrate your time and your systems, and to think that you are going to be able to have a balanced life. Sorry, brother, if that's what you're looking for, it doesn't exist. You're going to work for a decade straight. If you don't plan to work 7 days a week for a decade straight to make monumental income and bring generational wealth and bloodline money to your bloodline, bro, don't even try, right? Because listen, we're trying to retire young and enjoy the luxury of all of the hard works and reap what we sowed when we were young. So that requires an over amount of you. It almost is going to make you a weirdo in society, because society is basically a bunch of average people living on their norms, right? So a bunch of average norms that people are just living. And if you're on the outside or the outskirts of the extreme and you're working all the time and you have no vacation, and you're going to come off a little antisocial, a little different, It'll bring a little bit of problems in your life when it comes to making friends, because they won't understand why you work so much. But this is why you must keep your head down. Worry about the work. Don't worry about the friendships. Don't worry about the connections that you get with people that are not in the same niche or the same area of life as you. If you're not someone who is aspiring to be an entrepreneur, then you should go have those friends. Go live that life that you want, because this life is hard, bro. It's not funs and kicks and giggles. It's difficult. And it's not friendly to your overall success when it comes to relationships, leisure relationships, those friendships that you can call associates to a degree. It's not friendly in that way. And it's also not friendly to the family that you have. You're not going to be at certain places. You're going to be looked at differently. They call it the black sheep. You might have a black sheep syndrome. Like, you're never at family events, and every time you are invited somewhere, you don't go, because I have other things to do, like work. And there are the people that come in the comments. There are people that I even hear in my own life. They're like, oh, you're gonna regret all of the times that you didn't share with the people when they're gone or when you're gone. Buddy, we have one life to live. And if you want to be a family person, go do that. That's great for you. But me and what I aspire for my life, I understand that I have an enormous amount of potential within me, and I desire to be a conqueror. And if that's the case, I need to give it my best shot, because I only have one shot. Imagine someone gives you one shot to do something. You only have one time. And if you miss, it's over. You can't go, you don't have a redo. So what does it look like if you're going home and you're worried about what other people are doing? I give zero fucks. And that's the mentality that comes with this work-life balance thing when it comes to entrepreneurship. In the beginning, you're going to have to give it your all and not worry about the outsiders. You can't. You're looking to achieve something that has never been done within your family. And even if it has been done, when it's been done, they also understand, and that family dynamic, given that they're entrepreneurs and business men and women of that nature, they're going to understand what I'm talking about. But the majority of society has not gone through that sort of metamorphosis of working their ass off to then create and build their leisure in the back end later on in life. So now that you have one shot where you have all this energy, 18 to 35, you are going to have the most energy that you're ever going to have. And I think at like 25, it starts to diminish unless you feed it and make sure that you follow your discipline and not motivation. So overall, you have zero work-life balance. It's all work in the front end. Worry about the life shit on the other side, right? But give it your all. Give it your all. You have, like, your life depends on it. Literally, like, your life literally depends on it. The question then becomes, how do you avoid burnout? Burnout? Let's be real. Burnout. If you understand that this is the only shot you got, fuck a burnout. Don't even put it in your brain. Do not allow yourself to think like, if I work too much, I'm going to burn out. No, work up until you can't anymore. Take a breather. Do I take breathers? Yes. Do I take naps throughout the day? Yes. Take a 20-minute nap. Catch yourself. Okay, and then recuperate and get back to work. That's what you're built to do. If you couldn't do it, you would die on the second that you overworked yourself. Bro, relax. Take on the stress. Understand that if you're going through a lot of stress, you're going through a place of, I don't know, if you're going through imposter syndrome, you're on the right path. You're doing things that you've never done before. And it requires a lot of your time. So if you're working, and you desire to go outside and you need a break and your body is shutting down, then sure, go outside, take that breather, go play golf, find something that rejuvenates you so that when you're done doing that rejuvenation period, you come back to work 10 times stronger, right? Whatever that is for you. Right now, for me, it's golf. So I go play 18 holes. I just left the golf course to now go work for the rest of the day. Work-life balance doesn't exist in the front end. You're never going to have balance as an entrepreneur trying to accomplish something that has never been done before. So work your ass off. Don't worry about the burnout and just work until you can't anymore. And when you need that breather, go take a breather. No one's over your shoulder watching you, bro. But at the same time, you know when you're slacking off. You know when you could be doing work, but you're not, because you rather the dopamine rush. There's a difference between burnout and wanting dopamine. One's an addiction, and one is a physiological thing that happens to you when you overwork yourself. So understand the difference, and then change accordingly. Alter your life accordingly. But you're never going to have balance in the front end. And realistically, you're really not going to have balance throughout life. Because what you're looking to achieve in life, whatever it may be, is going to require you to do things to an extreme at some point or another. And when you really have that drive, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. Now, how much do you lean into it? That's up to you. But your mind will always be there. So figure it out. Understand that it's okay to be lost. It's okay to have that imposter syndrome. And then change your life accordingly and do what you have to do. Holla.
Boy, Mr. Brown.